G'day and welcome. It's been 2 or 3 weeks, I think, since I've posted a video. This one's sort of about the XC, a couple of other bits and pieces. Firstly, I want to thank Liam in Queensland. He's sent me a couple of bits that I needed. One's the centre air knob for the XC and the other one is the wiper knob. And the one I had wasn't nearly as good as this. These are really, really cool and really hard to get in good condition. So Liam, if you see this, mate, thank you very, very much. And what have I been doing? God, heaps of stuff. Hated the boot lid on the XW. Was never happy with how I painted it. And the reason for that is because I rushed it. The car had a deadline on it, which is one self-imposed, if you know what I mean. But I took my time with the rest of it, but the boot I rushed and it had problems with it. So I've repainted it. And it's a sort of a satiny finish at the moment because I've got to wait till it goes off and wet sand it and buff it and all that sort of lovely stuff. So it's a bit of a pain in the neck. 350 tank, I've painted blue for now so I can lay out some stripes. Found a US site that had a sticker kit for $60, I think. Great sticker kit, it's got everything you need. But the problem is UPS charged, I think, $80 postage. So what are we, $140, that's US, then we convert it to Aussie dollars, what's that going to be, $180 or something? Plus GST, turns into $200 for stripes. I'm just going to stick that on. Just mark my own out and paint it. That was $7.50. I use that sort of thing all the time. The other thing is the doors. Now I finished the metalwork on the left-hand front door. I've got the left-hand front guard on, and I'm starting to do body work on that. So, and the left-hand front door, of course, the metalwork, as I said, but I've got to do the sort of fill it, block it back, and all that sort of business. But that's all rust-free and all the nasty stuff's been taken out. Now, John Parnas was going to do the left-hand rear door, the one that I was struggling with. I didn't really know what to do with it. I picked it up the other day and I just thought, do I muck around with this or not? Anyway, I did. And started cutting out bits like that. The bottom corner, you can see there's a big rust hole. The skin had no rust on the outside of it, but of course when I started banging around on it, a bit of metal fell out of it because it was so thin. So I just had to put a patch in. At any rate, I pulled the skin off, and the frame wasn't as bad as I thought, even though it wasn't nearly as good as the other one I had. So in this one, we'll take the skin off the good one and assess it, I guess. And another thing I got here, just a moment. I also re-cleared the side covers for the 350. You can see they look absolutely gorgeous. Now that is straight off the gun, acrylic, but it's got a flex aid in it. And the flex aid allows it to sort of move around because it's plastic. The badges look fantastic. The only thing I don't like about them is the black around the outside is a little bit marked up and stuff like that. So I think I'll just redo the black, but I'll leave the colour on there and it'll look just like that. So I think that looks fantastic. It's a lovely colour. Very, very happy indeed. So once I've marked out the stripes on the tank, I will paint it silver and then I'll clear it. And we'll have a bike that looks just like that. So that's pretty cool. The other thing I was given was a parcel from Robert Sherrod Robert's from Davenport, IA. IA's Iowa, I think. Big box, and that cost him $80 to send this out. So it's the same sort of size box as those stripes would have come in. That's incredibly generous of Robert. Now, what was in that box is a letter, and in the letter he's given me something I didn't even know about, and I'll show you that in a moment. But the main thrust of it is this Briggs and Stratton service manual. Goes into everything, and I've never seen one of those, and I imagine they'd be fairly hard to get. This is an old publication, but a very, very, it's impeccable condition, so I'm wrapped with that. The other thing he sent me, which I did know about, was this, there's a few old stock parts here, but he sent this oil filler kit. Now, I did a video about 12 months ago, Briggs for $1, and I picked up this mower for 99 cents and had a really, really good rebuildable core. The motor didn't go, but it wasn't seized, and the bore's in really good nick, and the crank's in good nick, all this sort of stuff. So it's a nice little job to do in the downtime, if you know what I mean. It's got this extended oil filler kit, and mine was just stuffed. So this is all new old stock stuff. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Now, the other thing he sent was this, magnetron electronic ignition for a Briggs. I didn't even know they existed. And it's just such a cool thing. So Robert, if you see this, mate, thank you very, very much indeed. It's so well appreciated. So I think I've said all I need to do. This is a reasonably short video because we just go into some of the stuff we've done. I'm not doing this as a patch. We're going to weld the patch in because I've done a million things like that. I haven't done any, we're going to fill this, now we're going to prime it or edge prime it, and then prime it, and then we're going to paint it, and then we're going to colour sand it. I haven't done any of that. This is just more about progress on the car. The hope is, and it is a hope, that the sheet metal on the entire left hand side will be finished by Christmas. Those doors are going to take a bit of finessing to get perfectly right, and of course the guard as well. And again, this car was rust free. The reason the doors have or had rust in them is because it was off those items are off a different car. The front guards are impeccable, but this guy that had it before me that absolutely ruined the shell has done handy work on the guards as well, and you know what, I've got to go all over that again. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. This is some paint I bought for a Wolseley I was doing, and I never used it. It's dark blue. Good old coffee jar, she'll be right. Maybe a bit more. That will do. Right, so I've just given them another coat of clear. I don't know if I'll bother buffing those. I think I'll just leave them, put them back together and leave them. Back of the XW, the boot lid's had another coat of paint. It's a bit dull. It needs to be colour sanded and buffed and all that sort of stuff. Right, so in the recycle we have a Fairlane door. XD, got to repaint the roof. The cover, the original cover that was on here, had deteriorated. I thought it was just dust on there, just a sort of a browny colour, but it had all gone crispy and water was getting underneath, and of course loads of water sat against the paint and it's ruined the paint on the roof. Now the good thing about these is they're a very square roof. I can just repaint the roof on that and leave the rest of the car because it's fine. Here's the cover here. You see, I just thought it was dirty, but if you look, see there, it's actually cracked. UV's just broken it down over a couple of years outside, and yep, it's toast. So if you got one of these on your Pride and Joy and it starts looking like the UV's broken it down, so it's doing this now because I've just messed with it, but if it looks like that you've got to throw it out and get another one, which is exactly what I've done. So I think it'll do for the trailer. Right, so we're ready to do body work on that door, and this one we're taking the skin off, but I haven't taken it off. Take it off. It's true. Hang on. There we go. And I've broken that bit down there. It just bent and came off, so that's going to be something you have to do. And there is a hole there after all that, so we've got to take that skin off, fit this one, and we should have a nigh on perfect door. That's the idea. Right, so here's a good door or a good frame with a crummy skin. There's a couple of spot welds. I've taken the other one out. Could be on there. So what I'm going to do is drill these out. There's one there, you can feel that. There's a bunch up here too. You can see that one there, one there, one there. So I'll drill those out, and then the plan is to grind the edge of it. So I'll have to unpick all this, and then it'll just fall off hopefully. So I'll give that a go. As proper spot weld drills you can get, but if you're going to do it this way, you've got to be pretty careful. Oh, so I'm just going to get a grinding disc. Oh, it's a flappy disc, and I'll just do the edges. You don't have to take much off, just enough to weaken it. Like that. Let's see if we can knock this out. There, yeah. And that'll just come off. There's a bit of rust there. To be expected. So to remove these, to save them, is time consuming. But if you just want to dispose of it, it's actually quite quick. It's very good practice to actually unpick the old one, so you really know what you're doing, which I didn't. But you know, I don't think it matters. I did the other one. I'm just using a screw stick along here. It seems to be coming out quite easily. And there we go. So that's cool. And I'll just do the same up here and up the other side, then the skin will just pop off. You can see there it's all loose. So that's good. Oh, is that the police? Who remembers the old sardine cans? My mum used to buy them all the time. Oh, hang on a sec. Yeah, I've lost it. And oh, I haven't done that one too well, but we've got it anyway. God, if only the other one was this easy to get off. Still a bit more up here. I think I've got it all. Don't want to misshape that too much if we can avoid it, eh? There we go. Looking rather good. And the skin's released. Have a look at this. You can probably see it from there. We've got skin releasing. Like a snake. We don't want to cut ourselves. It looks so good from behind. It's just the front that's so knackered. So, let's cut that up a little bit. Bit of rusty stuff here, which I think we're always going to get that. We'll get a wide brush and we'll just clean that up and we'll have a closer look. Let's see with this door frame. Look, it's not that bad. It's not as good as I hoped. I've left this structure here, which means welding the new skin along that top edge. The reason for that is this inside part here on the skin is rusted. Only in places, but where that brace is there for the rear quarter glass, it's absolutely gone. So I've left that there. I can hide the weld under this chrome trim that goes there. So I'm not too worried about that. Lifts pretty good. Tiny little rust hole there. Very, very good inside. That's all good. But this corner here, which was affected in the other one as well, the other one was a lot worse, is pitted and pretty horrible. Couple of holes. Don't know if it's worth maybe welding that up and pour 15ing it. I can weld that up. I can probably weld that. Don't know. And that lip there's all sound and good as well. If I flick him over like me, oh, I nearly dropped him. Yeah, it's the same story. It's all pretty good. Yeah, it's all pretty good. There's that corner. Where's the corner? There's the corner there. Try and get out of the light so you can see it. It's still solid. I don't know. The less metal I can cut out, the better. You know what? Just got to grind that back and find out what's going on there too. But the rest of it's good. This was going to go to John Parnas, but I'm not going to waste his time. It's just not as... It's not brilliant like I thought it was. It looked absolutely mint. So I'll just grind away that other little bit of rust I found and see if that's on the surface or if it goes a bit deeper. The new skin will sit sort of in there. I've just got to take off. It's all rusted out in here. That's would be easier doing that way. But it doesn't look much better than the old one, but it is. It's straight. And the other one was all over the place. It had up to half an inch of filler in it. This is pretty good. I'll just weld up those holes there and I'll treat it. And I think it's going to be fine. Just filled these in with a bit of weld. Didn't turn the weld down to the minimum setting, which I left it up, so it should have blown holes straight in it, but there's still quite a bit of thickness there. But these two here have been done. So I think that's all I need to do with it, really. I'm just going to clean it up, put a bit of phosphoric acid and recoat it. And I think that's going to be fine. Right, so here's our door with the skin on. It's a little bit rough in the finish of it. But you know what? It's going to be alright. I can finesse bits and pieces that I've not done too well. There's mark in there and that sort of thing. Also some down the bottom, I think. In there, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, in there. Haven't done that well. But a lot of this stuff doesn't come visible until you put one colour on it. That's why I just threw a bit of primer on it quickly, just so I can see what's going on. Very important to me to have this lip exposed like an original vehicle. See, it's got little marks in it there. That's where I didn't weld it enough, I think, or I didn't fill in with weld. Can use filler on that. I used a little bit of filler, but not much. But yeah, if you have that lip exposed, it looks like it's got a skin fitted properly, rather than just having a cork sort of filled up and bogged. It looks pretty awful. Yeah, I haven't done it very well. I've just done it very quickly. I shot this on just to show you, really. There's the skin there, just finishing it. A couple of highs in there and that sort of thing. There was a low spot underneath the door handle there, which I had to attend to, but that's just roughed with 80 grit. So that's all got to be done properly. The other thing I've had to do is I've had to take these studs off here. I cut along here and welded it. This is the original one off the green door that was painted blue. And it now has the white skin, which I don't know if you can see in there, I've probably got too much primer, but at the end of the day, what we also need to do to make sure we've got all the curves right and everything is dummy fitted on the car, just to make sure it's going to gap properly. But yep, that's it. One thing that does concern me a little bit, and I'll show you that now. I'm just waiting for this to focus. Is this going to focus? It's not focusing. Hang on. Ah, there we go. Alright then, so I've got a few things I want to have a look at under here. Bit of rust. Oh, that's right, bit of rust there. This is pretty good, although our friend, the dodgy one, has put a patch in there, and I'll show you that in a moment. He's also welded up the engine designation badges, which we need to grind that off. And that's easy to get rid of. We can just hammer and dolly that, get that all nice and straight. The back ones were really bad because they'd sort of flared them in or rolled them in for wider wheels. Underneath it, it's brilliant. That's about the extent of the rust, just a tiny bit of surface rust, not a big deal at all if you look at this here. I did cover some nonsense up with some 415, and that's where the badges were there, so I'm going to draw those out. That's the patch the guy did. It looks like it's penetrated alright, but I don't trust it. I reckon I could pull that off with a pair of multis. If I twist that, it'll just pop out. None of his welding was any good, so we can work on that now as well. So we are finally finished with that, and a few other bits of metal. So the only metal work we've got now, let me think, is a tiny patch in the boot lid, as far as I'm aware. Doors are all finished now, and there's no patches for the front guards unless I have to redo that radio antenna one and the one I've just shown you. But minimal metalwork left. It's all body now, so that shouldn't take too long. But yep, look, at the end of the day, I hope you've enjoyed this. Sorry it's been such a long time, but it does take an awfully long time to get just one door done. And you know what, it's report writing time and all sorts of other stuff, and wifey's teasing me. So at the end of the day, hope you've enjoyed this. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you around. Cleo.